The bids are in, the gavel is dropped. Ladies and gentlemen, here at WineBid, we are finally hammered. That's right. This is WineBid's podcast dedicated to all things wine value, wine retail, wine auctions, and just wine. My name is Jeff Begurn. I'm here on the WineBid marketing team. I'm most certainly not an expert in wine investing, but you know who is an expert? Paul Walker with me here. Paul Walker is our resident wine expert. Not just
wine
an expert
auction
on, not just
observer.
An
I would say I'm a wine auction observer. That's what you can call me.
That's what you are. I said it first, and it is what it is. Let's immediately. So this episode we're going to be talking about the stuff we have coming to auction that is from outside of the U.S. and outside of France. Let's go ahead and start with Italy. I know you didn't have that many Italy picks. I had a bunch of Italy picks today. There's a lot of really good stuff in Italy. I know, Paul, you probably don't think Italy has good wine. I could not disagree more. I think there's fantastic wine in Italy.
How would I be even remotely considered close to anyone with any knowledge and not have interest in Italian wine? That doesn't make any sense.
I often ask myself the same thing, and yet you are a wine expert. So anyway, let's talk about some stuff coming to auction. Really quickly, I'll mention we've got, for all those people who love, and I know you were probably going to mention this, it's probably the only thing you have on your Italy list because I know you love Wine Spectator's Top 100 list. We've got 2015 Sassicaia, which was number one. And I know I don't have to tell Paul that. He's got all the rankings memorized for every year going back as long as you can remember. He's like an encyclopedia about this stuff. We have three of them for $315, released for like $225, I think. And now it's up to $315. It's only been a few years. So seen some nice appreciation there. I suppose that's a bit of the number one effect. But that 2015 vintage of Sassi was particularly good, I suppose. I have not had it myself. I'm sure you drink it all the time. I have not. I mean, I have.
You call it saucy, but you haven't had it. I think you gotta.
I haven't had the 2015.
You gotta drink it if you want to call it. The pet name.
I haven't had the 2015. I have a half a case of it, but I have not had it.
Well, open it. Start drinking it now. Tell me what it's like. I haven't had it since release. So. 08
Gaia Lange Costa Russi for $220.
Cool.
I thought that one looked really interesting. We have a 2011 Bruno Giacosa Folletto for $165.
I saw that. Yeah, just a single one, right? Just
a single one.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Bruno Giacosa, some fantastic wine. That looked good. 2010 Giacomo Conterno Barbera de Alba Francia for $75. We've got two of those. I think
that's a nice way to get into
Conterno.
Conterno. It's nothing like the Barolo, but still, it's good stuff, and I think it'll show you a nice representation of the wine. I mean, it's Barbera, it's not Nebbiolo, etc., but tasty wine, and not again. I would suspect this wine will be over $100 before you know it. So 75 reserve isn't too bad.
Is that investment advice?
No, it's getting a better. You always like to say value, right? You always
I think it's a tremendous value because to your point.
That's what I'm talking about. This is investment. No,
I'm just asking. This is a
buy it now to drink now, or buy it for more later to drink later. That's It's a phenomenal producer that makes amazing wine, and you can find a bottle of Barbera for under $100. I agree with you. I think it's a tremendous value. That's why I mentioned it. 2016 Casanova Denari Brunello di Montalcino Tenuta. You're all over the place. You're going Tuscany.
I'm all over the place. I'm not restricted by geography. Okay, I'm not restricted by don't limit me. My mom told me I could do anything I wanted when I grow up, and I'm all grown up now. So we've got 12 of these for $95 a piece. This stuff. So Casanova Denari makes phenomenal wine. Their Brunello is amazing.
Oh yeah, it sounds like Jeff's been reading The Spectator again, because I think that it's a Spectator darling, that wine.
Is it really? I actually had no idea.
They've been blowing it up for years.
Like it. I just really like them. I also like the Rosso, which is
findable. It's not
stuff.
It's
accessible.
Fine, it's accessible. It's. I know
you only drink stuff that is incredibly rare. Like five. Yeah,
well, that's why I always like to bring up the wines that I say you'll never see again, and then we see them all the time.
That's why Paul, he only drinks the rarest, most unfindable wines, and then for food he likes to eat Komodo dragon and Guamese rail, basically California condor, anything that's on extinction.
Goodness gracious.
2013 Bartolo Mascarello Barolo for $300.
Back to Piedmont. Wow,
I'm back to
really
Piedmont.
Are just going up and down.
Bounds. I know no bounds. This 1974 Produttori del Barbaresco Rabaja Reserva for 170. This stuff is actually supposed to be still pretty good, and I think 170 for something with
almost 74.
40
oddly enough, that's my that's my birth year, and so I've found some great. It's a great vintage actually in Piedmont. I don't know if universally great, but it's let's just call it a very good vintage, and there's some excellent wines. I haven't had Produttori wines from 74, but this thing looks great. The great fill, this great label.
I'll tell you, there are tasting notes from there are some tasting notes recently that say it's not bad. So
yeah, but it's good. And those things are, bruisers that last for a long time. So
they'll last for a while.
That should be great. 2013
Elvio Cogno Barolo Casina Nuova. This one for 40. That stuff is going to be some fantastic juice. 2006 Gallardi Terra di Lavoro.
Yeah.
$80. We've got 2 bottles.
It's funny. I just got some of the 11 because I think it was even less, and I've been drinking a couple. It's fantastic. So yeah, that's good wine. That's good.
I mean, like the most recent tastings are like majestic. This was amazing.
The 04. Yeah, the 04 is in this week too for 60. And yeah, both the 04 and the 06 are Trevi Chiari wines from Gambara Rosa. So I trust them a lot. They put on an amazing tasting every year too. But anyway, that's great stuff. That's great wine.
2017 Elio Grasso Barolo. This one, $80. We've got 3 of them.
Chiniera, Vigna.
Yes,
Chiniera.
The Chivina Chiniera. 2010 Tenuta Caparzo Brunello de Maltosino La Casa.
Back to Brunello. I'm all over. You really are just going back and forth.
Did you? I just, there's a lot. So like I could like take my time and like organize them, but there was too much stuff this week for me to spend time organizing. 01 Paolo Bea Montefalco.
Oh, some Bea. I didn't know you were into the natural
Secco.
Wine scene.
I thought it was 115. This wine can be a little polarizing. Some of them are more difficult than others. Let's just say. Look, some people like natural wine, okay, and I feel like we owe it to them to point out some of the really cool natural wine that we have like this. All right. I know you only like stuff that's been run through.
No. Listen, I don't know if you saw them yourself, but I found 2 very, very northern Italian wines that are known for their natural winemaking and have been doing it for a long time.
Which ones?
There's Damijan 2015 and 16. Really hard to pronounce these names. Podversic Nekaj and Podversic Ribolla.
I saw those.
30 and 35. And then there's Dario Princic Ribolla 18 at 50. So see, I picked some natural wines for you to, calm down.
I'm already rubbing off on you. I'm already having a positive effect. And this is why they make Paul do the podcast with me. 2010 Faprita Sperino Lesona. This one, actually, we've got 2 of them, $50.
What is this? What kind of wine
bids
is it?
On it. This Propita, whatever spec. This is a Nebbiolo. So this is from Lesona in northern Piedmont.
I don't know it. How do you spell it?
Proprieta. Sperino.
Sperino, Lesona. Huh. Yeah, no, don't notice at all.
This stuff, supposedly this stuff is, I've not had this, but it caught my eye. It looks like it's drinking really well right now, but, and it's also got some fans. It's had, we'll stay in Piedmont for a minute. 1989 Luigi Einaudi Barolo for $70. Actually, already has a bid on it. It's up to 71. This one gets some recent tasting notes, treat it kindly. And, I don't know. I look at it and I say, with that much age on it, $70 seems like a pretty good deal to me, especially if recent tasting notes are saying that it's in its stride.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's some great wines from that vintage. You're right. It's not terribly expensive. Yeah, no, there have been some really, really good deals in Piedmont recently. Some of the even big names, prices haven't been too crazy for recent releases and other things. So some
phenomenal deals. I'll mention 2 more wines. 2015 San Filippo Brunello de Matosino, Le Lucere. We've got 5 of those for 105. And then we've got the 2013 Pianconello Brunello de Montalcino. We've got one of those for 75. So those were my Italy picks. I know you didn't pick very many from Italy, but I love Italian wine.
Yeah, no, there's a couple things besides those natural wines from way up north near Slovenia, but still in Italy. There were also, you mentioned the 11 Giacosa Folletto. I saw that too. Didn't think it was too crazy. 17 da Milano Barolo Le Cinque Vigne. 7 of those at 40 a piece. Then there was a 18 Vietti Lazzarito, 3 of those for 160. I thought wasn't terrible. Vietti's obviously got a great following. Serious wines.
Yep, I saw the Vietti's.
American owned now as well, which is kind of interesting. And then there's 2020 Tortonese Dertona Colli Tortonese, which I'm not familiar with that wine. I assume it's Arnase or something. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but I did select it because I hadn't seen it before, and it looked interesting. Also has multiple bids. Or no, wait, there's three bottles. All have bids at 30. And then let's see, moving to Tuscany, there's a 17 Isodi San Nicolo, 2 of those at 85. Just phenomenal wine. It's not really from Tuscany. I guess it's closer to Rome, but great stuff. Actually, maybe not. I think I'm confusing it with somebody else. I think this is properly in Tuscany. Anyway, someone will correct me. 19, the second label of Ornellaia, the Serra Nuove. Technically, I think it's the second label. I don't know. But it's, anyway, great wines for far fraction of the price of the flagship wine. So 5 of those at 55. And then I actually picked the 18 Sassicaia because I saw it in this week at 255. So I thought it was reasonable, fairly reasonable price.
That's actually a very reasonable price because I feel like Sasti now is like 250 at retail ish.
Yeah, I think it's, and I mean, consistently gets great scores. The 18 seem to have very high scores across the board, and you mentioned the 15, which over 300. I don't know. I would probably, for the money, buy the 18 and sit on it for a while. Need some time, but there's also mag. I don't know if it's new this week, but there is a mag of 18 in the auction too. So.
I don't think it's new this week. Those
are my Italy picks.
Let's hop on a Qantas flight and head down to Australia. I only had 2 Australian picks, and then we can hop back on a Qantas flight and head over to Europe. We are flying business class, by the way. I just want you to know.
I should hope so. A lot of traveling around.
Long flight.
Jumping
it's a
up
long
and down
flight.
Italy like crazy. So.
I tell you, I'm not restricted by geography. I picked up the 2018 Glaetzer Almond Ra. We've got 3 of those at 65.
You like this wine? It's funny. There's another spectator darling. They used to
it is a spectator darling.
Rave about this stuff. Well, cycling, worked for Spectator forever and used to give it really, really high scores. So,
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's one of my darlings. I just sort of noticed it and wanted to point it out for people who care a lot about Spectator ratings like you do. And 09 Jim Barry Armagh Shiraz.
Yeah, expensive. That stuff's come up in price. I don't remember it being that much. 185. Yeah, it's a lot.
185.
It's a lot.
It is not. This stuff is not cheap.
No.
Right. I mean, this is some very serious wine. And I mean, you look at, I think when we sold it, last time we sold it 2022 for 145. So, it's appreciated in value, a little bit. You have any picks for Australia? You pick up
I picked the Grange. I picked the Jim Barry Armagh just because I kind of stuck out to me. And then there's also some Semillon from Hunter Valley, which I was reading about. Yeah, it's good stuff. 19 Brokenwood Semillon. It's actually got, are you bidding on it? I see there's bids on both bottles. Yeah, it looks like
Can we cut that out of the it wasn't that I didn't see the Semillon.
Why didn't you buy the other stuff, the Silkman Hunter Valley? That's in from last week. Are you buying that too? Yeah, it looks like you are. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's 8 bottles available of the other stuff of the Silkman. So
what's funny is we talked about Hunter Valley Semillon
it's
6 months ago, and I remember telling you I never see it at auction, right? And then
Yeah.
I feel like there was like a dry spell where there must have been a good 4 or 5 months where we saw no Hunter Valley Semillon. And then I feel like the last three weeks, it's just been every auction. There's been a bunch of Hunter Valley Semillon at really good prices. So hopefully, just to wrap a bow on this, it's terrible stuff. Nobody buy it. It's all past its age. I'm sure, I would just stay away from the Hunter Valley Semillon and let me dispose of it on your behalf.
You're right.
It's really well priced too. It's all like
yeah,
$20,
I know. It's great. Not expensive and
not expensive at all.
It's very well respected by like British wine critics who, have very specific taste, and it's very good stuff. So can't argue with that.
Let's hop back on a Qantas flight, head over to Deutschland, and let's talk some German wine. I picked out a couple of J.J. Prum's, the 2019 Veltliner Sonnenur Riesling Cabinet Number 9 for $40. We have 6 of those. And then the 04 J.J. Prum Greiche Himmelreich Riesling Auslese. We've got 2 of those for $50, and one of those already has a bid on it. I'm a big fan of the J.J. Prum wines. They just make massively delicious stuff for me. I love the stuff that they make.
No, and it's not, the prices remain reasonable. I think Riesling still and continues to be years and years and years later underappreciated. It's very complex for, bang for the buck as far, if you want to say that, quality price ratio, if you're into that. There's a lot of complexity, a lot of flavors, a lot of aromatics, a lot going on for a wine that doesn't cost, more than $30 or $40. And so it's pretty incredible. And yeah, and I've noticed too, like there's actually a selection of recent release, nearly brand new, I think 20 and 21 Günther Steinmetz Rieslings. And there's, I believe, the monopolage or monopole, estate vineyard that they own the entirety of. And those are fairly priced. They do have bids. They also have huge, speaking of cycling, giant cycling scores, like 97, 98, 99s. So those are really interesting. And they're new. I don't think we've ever sold those before. They're new this week. So Günther Steinmetz, those are my German selections. There's also one of these Hofgut Falkenstein, which I remember we mentioned a few weeks ago, and it seemed like it was getting a lot of activity. There's 3 of those in currently at 45. It looks like one of them has a bid. So definitely some very interesting German wines this week.
Let me walk into some more of my German picks. 2011 Willi Schäfer Greiche Domprost Riesling Auslese, which apparently came from an auction. We have a bunch of Willi Schäfers coming into auction. This one we've got 3 of for $185 a piece.
Yeah, it's the Grosser Ring. Remember we talked about this months and months ago? These are from the Grosser Ring auction in Germany. Like they're special barrel lots, like specifically sold at this event.
It's like the Hospices de Beaune of Germany, essentially.
Well, I'm not sure that it's that. I don't know if it's like a benefit or a charity situation. As much as it is just like we want to make a lot of money, so we're going to auction this stuff off. Well, they do showcase interesting lots, specific lots from each producer, and they're, well, as you can see, the prices are they're not
cheap.
No.
Well, neither is like Premier Napa Valley or Hospices de Beaune.
That's true. That's true.
So, 2015 von Schubert, Maximin, Grünhauser, Atzberg, Riesling Spätlese, Nummer 17. This one, we have 2 of them for 45. I've got my eye on that stuff. I've got my eye on 2020 Robert Weil, Kiedrich, Greifenberg, Riesling Trocken GG number 42.
Oh, the Grosses Gewachs. Yeah.
The Grosses Gewachs. I'll bet that stuff's absolutely outstanding. It's only $75. We've got this 2018 Marcus Molitor, Veltliner Sonnenur Riesling Auslese Gold Capsule. This one, $90. I'm sure that stuff is absolutely killer. 2011 Schäfer Fröhlich Bockenauer Felseneck Riesling Spätlese Gold Capsule. This one, we have 3 of them for $50. Just a ton of like really really good Riesling coming into auction this week, which I love Riesling. That stuff is so good. And the prices are just all, I mean,
they're all over the place. Yeah.
They're all over the place, but I still feel like they're very reasonable because this is well produced. A lot of this is very well produced stuff.
For even like top tier producers, there's still not, there's still plenty of examples under 35 or even 40, 40, 35, $30. So and if you care about scores, you got those too. So there's all kinds of things in very, very reasonable price ranges and from, a bunch of different vineyards, not just all the same place. Looks like AJ Adams, which I just love those wine. I didn't even see that before, but AJ Adams Spaleza 2011s, great level of maturity there, $35 reserve. That's just awesome. So always an underappreciated category. And this week there's just a bevy of them. There's a huge amount. So I think 90 something or 80 something, 80 bottles of wine, new German wine this week.
Just a ton of them.
Yeah.
Just a ton of them. Let's head down to Spain, shall we?
Sure.
No rhyme or reason. I don't
think I have any Spanish picks this week. The only other country I think I have is from South Africa.
Well, then let me walk you through some of my picks from around the world. We've got a 2001 Vega Sicilia a Leon for 130. We've got 2018 Dominio de Pingus, Flora de Pingus for 70. We've got 7 of them. We've got a 95 Lopez de Hedera Rioja Vina Vasconia Gran Reserva for 215. Supposedly, this one, according to most recent tasting notes, is actually drinking outstandingly right now. And those Spanish wines, especially Rioja, those can really age.
Yeah.
Those can go the distance. 01 Lopez de Hedera, Rioja Vina, Tondonia, Gran Reserva. We've got one of those for 170. All about that stuff is outstanding. The Marquez de Murrieta Ige, Rioja Reserva. This is an 86. For 95, right? I love that you could find these wines that are drinking great right now. They've got the age on them and you're getting them for under $100 and it's just fantastic stuff. So those were my Spanish picks. I went over to Österreich, Australia, 2007, Nikolaihof, Riesling Reserve.
You said Australia, you mean Austria.
Sorry, Austria, Österreich. I did say Austria in German. So Österreich is Austria. Auf Deutsch. So this Nikolaihof Riesling Reserve Steiner Hund. This one actually already has a bid on it. $45. It's up to $46. We've got 2 of them, but this stuff is absolutely killer. I was thinking of bidding on it myself. I love Austrian wine. I've been wine tasting in Austria and it's so good. And an 06, and I actually have some of this, 06 Weingut Null, Emmerich Null, Leubner, Gruner Veltliner, Schmagred Vinotech Frühling.
It's like a reserve label or something. Vinotech Frühling.
Yeah, but I have some of the Weingut Null, and that stuff's outstanding. They're
great wines.
Great wine.
Not cheap, those 06.
No. Well, I mean, look, they're not cheap, but I think there's a tremendous amount of value for the quality you get for the price that you pay. A similar quality in Burgundy would be like a ton more. Or if it were Napa, it would be like $3,000 a bottle, like, Screaming Eagle Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, you're comparing those qualitatively. That's a very interesting comparison.
So do you really think Screaming Eagle Sauvignon Blanc is like 300 times better?
I wouldn't put those in the same category at all. I think they're not. You can't compare the two. And I mean, I hate comparing regions and.
Well, I mean, anyway, I'm just comparing value.
I would compare. I would compare an $85 Sauvignon Blanc, right, to an $85 Gruner Veltliner from Austria, and I'm just
comparing
sure
value. I'm saying for the quality you get for the price you pay, that there's a lot of value in a lot of these wines.
Absolutely. I'm not arguing that. I'm just arguing for the sake of arguing.
That, which is what you want to do. We've got a 95 Taylor Fladgate.
Okay. We're no longer in Austria.
No, I went to. Well, you were complaining. I went to. Portugal.
I wanted to mention the Brundelmeyer Rosé because I thought it was cool. That's something you see more often at retail. You don't often see that in the auction in 2021.
Yeah.
How many times you drink rosé from Austria? Not that often. Not easy to find.
All the time for me. All the time. It's all I drink. When I get up in the morning,
that was
before I go to bed.
One of my picks. Zweigelt Rosé from Brunnemile. Anyway, yeah, go ahead. What's
how much is this Zweigelt?
I have to go. It's 3:47. I'm already late. So
well, I'm almost done. 95 kilo Flodgate Quinta or Jalas. 2 of those for $40. 1977 grams port for $75. 1977 Dow's port for $85. And we've got a mag of that for $140. There's a
report. That's commitment.
That is commitment report. But luckily it'll last you a while. You don't have to drink it all in one sitting. 1997 Quinta do Noval Nacional.
I saw that was actually on my list. Yeah.
$850.
Well, legendary vintage, legendary producer. Quinta Noval Nacional is incredible stuff. I actually have some of the 97, not the Nacional, but the non-Nacional, if you will.
Good.
And some of the 2000 as well, because I love this producer and it's amazing. So yeah, I'm sure that's incredible.
1952 Nieport's Graffaria.
Yeah, I saw that bottle. Looks like it's been through a war, but
yeah, it probably has. There's 3 of those. So that one is no spring chicken. That's
52. It's an interesting vintage because it's actually really hard to find wines from this vintage. I obviously close to people who I bought a couple bottles for birth year last year, because obviously it's a big 7-0. And we drank 52 Ponte Caneo, and it was amazing. But
really?
I was looking for something like this. I was looking for, something from Portugal or whatever, Madeira or something from 52, and I could not find it. And all of a sudden, these popped up this week, and I thought that was pretty amazing.
Might want to grab them for that person's 60th birthday.
Yeah.
You got to wait. Hopefully you're still friends with them in 9 years. 2017 Hamilton Russell Chardonnay from South Africa.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Along with the 2018 Molyneux Granit.
Yeah, so that I just wanted to mention all the Molyneux. There's Molyneux and Liu family, and then there's Molyneux wines as well.
I saw the Molyneux Lee stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things there, like old vine senso, all sorts of cool stuff from.
In fact, I picked out the 18 Molyneux Lee Passant Cabernet Sauvignon, which we have at 40. There's already a bid on
at $40.
Yeah. And did you see the Delaire Graf Terrace Block Reserve Chardonnay for 35? We've got 20 of those. I thought
is that from same producer from Molyneux also?
No, it's a different producer, but I'm trying to wrap us up here because we got to keep things going.
Yeah.
And then the only other 2 that I had is I had this Okonomoi Mirabello from Greece for $50. And we've got 4 of those. And then the 2020 Felton Road Bannon, this is from New Zealand, not Greece, but Bannockburn Vineyards Pinot Noir for $50. We've got some really interesting stuff from New Zealand in the auction as well. Those were all of my picks. Did I miss anything?
No, I didn't even see those Felton Roads must have just got up. I don't see pictures up yet. So they must have just gotten added to auction. And there's Block 2 Chardonnay for $25, which is steal. Oh, are you bidding on that? I'm going to bid on it. I'll outbid you.
No way. I'm going to outbid you.
There's all kinds of great Felton Road wines in this week. Calvert Pinot Noir, Block 5 Pinot Noir.
There's
Vineyards. Yeah, that's awesome. Pyramid Valley. Oh, that's great. Such great wine.
I probably should not have mentioned this stuff because now you're going to go bid on it and or somebody else's. But yeah,
I actually have a buddy who's a major fan. So yeah, those Felton Roads are as good as gone.
All I'm saying is just that, this week there was a lot of really good stuff at really great prices. I feel like I was saying I'm not going to bid on anything this week, and then it's 30 bids. No, it wasn't 30. I think I have 12 bids in or something already. Just some stuff, so much good stuff, and a lot of stuff I didn't even mention. So, Anyway, for WineBid's Finally Hammered, I am Jeff McGurn. This is Paul Walker. Wishing you happy bidding and cheers.
Cheers.